Hi everyone. Today is the summer solstice, the longest day of the year in the northern hemisphere. It's a glorious start of summer here in Southern California. I'm in Zone 10B. Midsummer takes place during the summer solstice and dates back thousands of years when ancient people celebrated fertility and the life-giving powers of the sun. The plants have responded enthusiastically to the increased sunlight as the garden is growing rapidly. Just take a look at how much the garden has changed in 1 month. The transition from cool to warm season vegetables is complete. In this video, I'll take you on a tour of our container garden and harvest our remaining cool season veggies. I'll also be doing some chores. I'll set up and explain our tomato trellising system. I'll sow blue lake bush beans. I'll plant basil, cilantro, and Japanese shiso in our herb corner, and we'll harvest red and yellow potatoes. We would love to hear from you in the comments about any connections you have as you watch this video. If you get anything out of the video, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel. We would really appreciate it. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Let's start the tour at our 5 Momotaro tomato plants. 3 years ago, I developed this trellising system that's strong, simple, and portable. The trellis has worked out really well. Let me show you how easy it was to install. The parts were stored away over the winter, so it only took me about 30 minutes to install. Here you can see that I joined 2 stakes with that connector, which makes this trellis 7 feet tall. At the top of the trellis, the 2 stakes are joined with this A-type connector, which allows you to put a horizontal piece across the top from which the twine will hang. As we go back down, I made these braces. It's connected to the stakes with a universal buckle and zip ties. Very, very strong and stable. At the bottom of the twine, it is anchored to the soil with these stakes. And as we go back up the twine, you can see these tomato clips are used to connect the vines to the twine. For more details on this trellising system, check the link in the description. Let's go back in time just after I planted these tomatoes. Here's the main leader, and the sucker grows at 45 degrees from the main leader. I trimmed off the branch of sun leaves, leaving the sucker behind, and trimmed off all the lower branches as well as suckers. About a week later, you can see how strong the leader had become. I took a tomato clip, attached it to the twine, then clipped it to the main leader just below the node. I took another tomato clip and attached it to the sucker, which had become nice and strong as well. As these 2 stems grow, I'll cut out all the suckers that grow out of them. The reason for that is because we want to focus all the energy into these 2 stems as the plant continues to grow. In these 2 pots, I'm growing a popular Japanese cucumber called Tsuyataro. I have a trellis set up for these cucumbers. You can see that the twine is anchored below each plant. As the plant grows, the tendrils will grab onto the twine and grow vertically. When the lateral branches emerge from the main leader, I'll add horizontal supports from which the cucumbers can hang from. In these 3 pots I have bitter melon, also called bitter gourd. These plants are young and just getting established. In about a week or 2, I will install a plant cage from which the bitter melon can hang from. In this pot I have a Japanese Kabocha squash called Sweet Mama. Down at the base of the plant we can see two flowers. This flower is a female flower because you can see the ovary right behind the flower. And the other flower is a male flower. This is where the pollen is produced. So we're going to try hand pollinating this female flower. The first step is to remove the male flower, then peel back the petals, or what I'd like to do is cut the petals down at the base of the flower, and this will expose the pollen coming from the anther. The final step is to take the male flower and rub the anther against the stigma of the female flower. This can also be done with a brush. Just make sure you transfer as much of that pollen to the stigma of the female flower, and there you have it. You have hand pollinated the squash. A couple of weeks ago I sowed blue lake bush beans into this pot, and I covered it with burlap. And the purpose of the burlap is to prevent the sun from crusting over the soil, making it hard for the seedlings to emerge. And as you can see, the seedlings have come up nicely. Another couple of weeks have passed and those beans are growing well. I'm going to grow some more in succession, and here I have soaked the beans overnight and sow them into another pot. Again, I'm covering them with burlap to prevent the sun from crusting over the soil. Okay, let's head over and harvest the remaining carrots. It's always fun harvesting carrots because you never know what you're going to get. That's a decent sized carrot. Let's see what we have here. And that's pretty big. Not bad. And here's the last one. Oh, take a look at the shape of this carrot. All right. That's the last of the carrots. Not bad. Now let's head over and harvest the last remaining turnips. With this last harvest of Japanese turnips, I'm going to pickle them. In these two pots, I'm growing Satsuma sweet potatoes. And in these two grow bags, I have red and yellow potatoes. You can see that the foliage is looking really healthy. And in these two grow bags, we have more potatoes that are ready to be harvested. Okay, Ginger's out here to help harvest these potatoes, so let's go ahead and go for it. Now, one of the things that we found kind of unusual is that all the plants died back, so you can actually see all of the dieback, but then there was a surge of growth. So we're not quite sure what's going on here, but we're pretty certain there are potatoes down there. I'm not quite sure what the surge of growth is all about, but the initial dieback gave us the signal to start harvesting. So that's what we're going to do. Ready or not, we're going to go ahead and harvest these. So Ginger's going to pull out all the dead foliage, and the mulch was added after the potatoes were planted, and we're going to remove, and we save this. So she's going to recycle it, place it back into the bag. Let's take a look at this label. So this label says that, see, we put these in back in December. Let's see, yeah, December. These are potatoes from Trader Joe's. So this is the Ruth Stout method. That is where we added mulch on top of the seed potatoes, which are a good 12 inches below the top of the surface of this mulch. So Ginger's going to remove it, and let's see what we find here. Since we plant, oh, there we go. All right. All right. A couple small ones there. Oh, looks like there's a cluster down there. Okay. Oh, that's a nice one.
I think this is the soil level now.
Okay, we're at the soil level now. Okay, a little update. Since that last clip, Ginger found a couple more good-sized ones. So this is what we're at so far in the red potato grow bag. These plants grew from yellow potatoes that we picked up at Trader Joe's. And obviously it's probably better to get certified seed potatoes. And we'll probably do that next time. But since we have such a small garden, I don't want to buy a whole...
Red potatoes.
Oh, okay. I don't want to buy, a whole bag full of seed potatoes only to use a couple of them. So that's why I buy them from the grocery store. Okay, so Ginger is going to remove the mulch just like she did for the other grow bag. Okay, I'm seeing some potatoes.
Okay, so we've got...
Nice.
Put this over here.
This grow bag looks pretty good so far. Okay, so this is what we have so far. This is the grow bag that Ginger is working on right now, and this was the first grow bag. It looks like the first grow bag, maybe a little bit more, I don't know. Looks like about the same. All right. Oh, there's another one. Oh, that's a good sized one. Okay, so this is our final harvest. So what were your final thoughts, Ginger, as you're digging those out?
Well, we thought that these potatoes developed above the soil line, but this time we did have some growing into the soil.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of interesting just to see how it grows and where we can expect to see.
So these were essentially like a determinate variety where they're all kind of clustered in one area. None were growing up the stem.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So as I was saying earlier, given the fact that we started these in the middle of winter and it's now early summer, that's not too bad. And we've been learning a lot about growing potatoes. We've been doing it for about 2 years now. And this is what we have growing right now in these other 2 grow bags. And these will be ready, you figure, in another, maybe 3 to 4 months. And we'll just wait for that foliage to start dying back. All right, thank you, Ginger.
Bye.
In these 4 pots, I have Shishito Peppers, and here you can see the seed packet from Kitazawa Seed Company. We absolutely love Shishito Peppers. They're a summertime favorite. In these 4 pots, I have a Japanese eggplant called Ichiban. I picked up these plants from the garden center, and you can see just how loaded they are with flowers. The plants are growing very, very vigorously, and some of the fruit has set, like this one here. So far, these plants are doing really, really well. These Italian parsley plants have gone to seed. Now, typically, I would let them develop and harvest the seeds, but I have plenty of seeds already and I want to plant something in here. So I'm going to remove the plants, knock off the soil, and save them. And I'm going to try doing something different with these. Instead of tossing them, I'm going to place them into a jar of water and place it on the counter in the kitchen. Into this container, I'm going to plant cilantro. I picked up these plants at the garden center, and you can see just how root bound this plant is. I'm not going to plant it like this. What I'll do instead is take my garden knife and slice off the bottom of the root ball. Then I'll score the outside of that root ball, loosening up those roots. Next, I'll add an organic fertilizer into the hole and drop the plant into that hole. The last step before watering it in is to add mulch. I like to do this to most of my plants to prevent the pot from drying out. In our herb corner, I have this rosemary in a terracotta pot. These are Korean perilla leaves. And here we have Japanese shiso, cilantro, green onions. This is mint. And here we have basil, chives, English thyme. In this pot we have Thai peppers, some more mint that I repotted, and in this pot I have Italian parsley that were started from seed. So there you have it. This was our summer garden update. I hope you enjoyed the tour. Let's take a look at our harvest earlier this week. We harvested Japanese turnips and these beautiful carrots. Please consider liking and sharing this video with people you know. Please consider subscribing to our channel. We would really appreciate your support. And as always, thank you so much for watching.